So I'm Ken Coffey, I'm with AtriAN. If you listen to nothing, there's going to be a slide right at the end to show some recent results we have. But basically, how many people in here know somebody that has AFib or has AFib themselves? Lots of people. It's a real problem. And the problem is that there really isn't a good solution for it. So we're taking a completely different, radical approach to going at the source of it. Like I said, we're based in Ireland. We've treated 36 patients. And we're using pulse field ablation. That's sort of the new energy in electrophysiology. Most people are applying it in a different way. We've raised about $6 million to date, and we're seeking about $29 million to get us through minimally invasive tools. The problem is really needs to be caught early. If you have AFib early, if it progresses, it kind of gets to where you just really can't do much about it. And there's companies that sort of focus on early stage, also late stage like an AtriCure, and we're trying to nip it in the bud right in the early stage of it. The real complication is primarily stroke. You have basically the heart's not beating like it should. You develop these blood clots and they go to the brain, these devastating strokes. So that's what we're trying to do. And there really isn't a good solution for it. So if you go to the ER tonight, they're going to give you drugs, and that's going to make you sick and feel like crap. And then about 70% failure there. Eventually, the electrophysiologist will sort of recommend an ablation. And this is the key here: is that in 1 year, 30% of those people are going to have another ablation, and then in 3 years, 50% of those are going to have a repeat ablation. So there's really no good way of doing that. And what they're doing is they're taking actually sort of this structural ablation where they're burning or they're freezing the inside of the heart around the pulmonary veins in an attempt to sort of block the signals that are coming in. We're going for the signals that exist outside the heart. So it's a huge market. Everyone knows this. It's not even just a growing market. It's growing because we know more about it. My Apple Watch will tell me if I have AFib. So there's a lot more awareness in the market and just in general. We're going to take it from open chest. I'll show you this pathway through minimally invasive. So what we're doing, this is a little complex, so I'm going to slow down here. The only patient population group that never gets AFib, well, maybe 5%. The only patient population that never gets AFib are heart transplant patients. And you might think, well, that's, of course, they have a new heart, right? No, even people who've received their own heart, sort of auto-transplantation study was done some years ago. And because you see up here, there's this connection between the central nervous system and the autonomic system of the heart. If you disconnect those two, then the AFib goes away. And that's sort of what that's not sort of what we're doing. That's what we're doing, sort of modulating, bringing that connectivity down a little bit. We're going on the outside of the heart, which is not a common access, but we're going to make it so because we're treating those exact spots on the outside. We started with open chest. We have a pulse field generator, 1,000 volts, very short duration, and basically it ablates the nerves, but this is key. It doesn't harm the heart muscle. So all the ablation techniques right now burn or freeze, and you're taking this healthy heart tissue and destroying it. We're not doing that. And you see here Dr. Skalski in Prague and Homolka doing one of our treatments. That's our catheter. It's connected to a pulse field generator, and we're moving toward minimally invasive. So really, in atrial fibrillation, there's sort of this multi-team approach right now. If you'll see with AtriCure and their hybrid approach, they're using an electrophysiologist, cardiac surgeon, and that's where we're starting in the open chest because we can actually visualize these sites going after them, and that's what we've done in these 36 patients. But then we're going to use subxiphoid access and then actually just go loop around and navigate sort of a minimally invasive approach eventually. So you see on the top there, this minimally invasive approach is going to take a little bit longer because we've already treated 36 patients in the open chest, as you see below. So we should have CE marking in 2026. That should build the data also for the minimally invasive. A little bit more design work to do there. We should be break even pretty soon, actually, in 2028. So you see the revenue model here is quite strong, moving from open chest to minimally invasive. So it's a great opportunity for investors. The milestones to date, we've done a lot of preclinical work. The actual technology came out of Mayo Clinic. We incubated it in Ireland. We did preclinical work, both at Mayo and Ireland, other centers in Europe. And we've taken it through 36 patients clinically. The first 12 were done for safety and safety and feasibility. And we just treated 12 patients that for efficacy, and I'll share that data with you now. I guess one more thing. So we've got a great IP portfolio, and it looks like I might, maybe, oops, can I go back? Is that right? So I had the data slide there. It's late breaking news. Can't get it back. That's okay. So 12 patients we treated for efficacy, and at 6-month timeline, all are free from AFib. So that was something we did not expect. We were hoping for maybe 40 or 50%. Great team. Recent additions, John Hunt, our chair, Mark Carlson, who was with CMO of Abbott, St. Jude. So anyway, if you're interested in this approach, I'll be around the conference. Thanks very much. Thank you.